Hi everyone, it's Fiona from Lavender Blue, and today we're going to make, this is the first Freebie Friday craft along video. I make something every Friday in my Facebook group and you get to download the printable for free. So today we're going to make this cute little ephemera folder, and it has a closure with string, but I've just taken the string off there. Open it up and you've got this little concertina style expandable envelope, and then the printable has a few little tags and little words and things that you can put in there if you want to. So that goes in there like that, or anything. You might want to keep your receipts or little photos or anything else that you might like to collect and put it in there. So that's what we're going to be making today. So let's get started. Hi everyone, it's Fiona from Lavender Blue, and today we're going to be making our very first Freebie Friday printable, which is what I'm having in my Facebook group. Every Friday I'll come out with a new printable, and if you're a member of the Facebook group, you can download the printable file for free and then make this little project if you wish to. If you're not in my Facebook group, this printable will still be available in my Etsy shop, which I will put the link below. Okay, so what we're making today, it's going to be a little ephemera folder for you to put your little tags and your little pieces of ephemera in, and it's a concertina style, so it's got the little concertina opening. It's got room inside, which gives it room inside to put things. And this first one I've made with my tea party papers from the tea party journal kit, but I'll also be making it in other sort of themes as well. But this is the free one, and what you get is you get 3 pages to print out. So first of all, you've got this one, which is your main one, and then you've actually got a full page which you can print on the back, and that's a sort of a ledger paper. It's from my distressed ledger paper kit, and so I've printed both pages. This is the other one, and it's just the plain sort of ledger paper. And I just wanted to explain a little bit about the printing, because I've got a fairly cheap printer, and so with my printer it doesn't matter whether I tell it to print borderless, full page, or what I do, I always end up with a little bit of a border all the way around. And then I'm usually left with a little bit of space at the bottom here. So that's how mine's printed out, but yours may print full page and you may not have the borders. Either way, it doesn't really matter. But when you do print, make sure you do have your printer on borderless printing, same with all of my printables, and don't tick shrink to page. Make sure you've checked fill page, so it'll fill the whole page. Now that's if you're printing on A4 paper, because I've made these A4 size to fit onto A4 paper, and this is cardstock. But if you're printing on a different size paper, like letter size paper, which is what they have in the US, you will need to put shrink to fit, so you can fit the whole lot on. And your project's going to be a little bit smaller, but it doesn't matter, it'll still work. Okay, so I hope that explains the printing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go off camera and just cut these out, and then we'll get started on the project. So I'll see you in a minute. So I'm back and I've cut all my little bits and pieces out. Now with the cutting, I forgot to mention, I hope that you didn't get confused. So these larger pieces, that's all one piece, are the cover. And the reason why I've got two of these is you can print on the back, but say if your cardstock's not, like mine is very thin, you might want glue two of them back to back so that you have a thicker cover. So you can do that or not do that, it's up to you. But I'm going to glue mine back to back. I just want to make sure the edges are straight. And so there's that one, and this one here that was above that one on the page is to be cut out as all one piece. And this is our little our expandable sides on the folder. And then you've got a couple of larger tags and a couple of smaller tags. These are to go inside. I've got some circles and some little word tags as well. So you can put them in together, you know, in different ways. You don't have to do it the same as I'm doing. And these are little kind of tag circles, that one and that one. And these are for the closure. And you can glue them back to back if you want to. So I'm just going to go ahead with mine, and I'm going to glue my two cover pieces back to back. Just making sure that's lined up like that. And I'm using a tacky glue. I'm hoping it'll come out today. I was having trouble the other day with, I think it's almost empty. So I'm just going to glue that down. And I hope that you can hear me better today. Some people mentioned that in my last video the sound wasn't very good. So I've sort of changed my position of my iPad a little bit, so I'm hoping that the sound's going to be better on this one. Just making sure that's all stuck down. Okay. Just get your bone folder, if you have one. Smooth that out as much as you can. And I've just got a little edge here that I need to trim down. Okay. Just wiping this down. So now what I want to do is fold it on these two folds. And by the way, these printables, I created the actual shapes. I've hand drawn them on a piece of paper, so you know they're not perfect, but because I didn't create these in Photoshop, I hand drew them first and then took them into Photoshop. But it should all fit together, hopefully. So that's my first fold. And the second one. So that's just made my cover a little bit thicker, but you don't have to do this. You don't have to glue them back to back. Okay, so once you've scored them here, that's going to be the bottom of our little folder. We're going to score it down here. I didn't put an actual score line there on the printable because I just wanted to make sure that it would be in the right spot, and the easiest way of doing it is to just make sure your bottom edge is straight and fold it so that it's level there. And then I just scored down here on the edge. And then that is our little flap at the top, our closure. So that's going to come over like that. And we put our little side pieces in here. Now these pieces here will need to be cut down. So I'll just show you in a minute. They're a little bit bigger, and same with some of the tags. They need to be cut down to size. But that's okay. They're a bit bigger, but you might want to use them in a bigger project. And same with tags. So I made them a little bit bigger, but in printables that I do for these, I think I'll make them the correct size. When I make some more different designs of these, I will make these the correct exact lengths to go in here, and I'll make the tags. I'll cut these down for this project, but I'll make the tags so that they do fit in here. But you know, you might have other pieces of ephemera or your own sort of tags that you want to put in, because that's what it is, an ephemera folder. So all you need to do is measure from the line to the edge. On both of those. And cut those down. And then if you want to, you can re-ink. Just going to re-ink this edge. And then I'm going to glue this in. Doesn't really matter which side, which way you glue it in. That way or that way, you're still going to get the little concertina bit. I'm gluing mine with this bottom bit to the edge. So I'll just put my glue on there. Now the other side, and I might You might want to put your closure on before you glue this down. So I'll do that in a second. Which is probably good because I can let this dry. Okay. So that's just going to go in there like that. And then we'll have our closure. So I'm going to put the closure on. Sure what those little bits are. So I'm going to get these, and you don't really need to glue them together, but you can if you want to. I think I'll just use these two. Actually, I might use these two. And I'm just going to do a, with brads, I'm just going to do the little wraparound closure. Now you can do a magnetic closure, any sort of closure that you prefer. So just finding the middle roughly here. That's where I'll put that one. So I get my little pokey tool, or it's called an awl, I think, or a needle, whatever you have. Put it in the center. And then I'll attach my little brad in there. Kind of wishing I had some black coloured brads, because I think they'd go a little bit better, but that's okay. And then what you can do is you can use the extra circle to glue it on and cover that up, or you can put a strip of paper across there. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to leave it like this. And then I want to mark directly below that where I want to tie it, you know, straight below there. And I'll hold that on there and put another hole. And put this other brad. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Yeah. So that's that one. So now we can glue down. We can glue this down. Just pushing on that. Just like that. So then we've got our little concertina sides, which gives us a bit of room inside. Our little ephemera folder. So that's basically the little folder. And so I'll get some twine. If I can find the end of it. A little bit of twine. Let's cut. And I just started off by wrapping it around the top one a couple of times. You can glue the end in as well. just start it off, wrap it around a couple of times, and then close it, go under this one. Another way of doing this actually is to use the two pieces, put the two pieces in there together, and then you run your string in between those two. That's another way of doing it, just like I'm doing it here. Oops, I should go behind there. I probably need a smaller piece of twine for this one, but so it sits on there like that. Okay. Now for the tags, I'm just going to I'll probably just make one or two just to show you what you can do with them. So as I said, this one's a little bit wide to go in here. So I am going to cut a little bit off each side. Let's do that quickly. So it's making a bit of a longish, skinny-ish tag. And I'm sorry they're not exactly the right size to go in. But I did make a little mistake there with the size, and then I didn't have time to change it so that I could get this out to you today. But you can cut these down. It's the first time I've kind of drawn up a template by just drawing it up, you know, out of the top of my head. And I must have got a little bit confused with my measurements. But anyway, we can deal with that. So I'm just inking around the edges with some tea dye ink from Tim Holtz. And I'll ink the back side. And same with the tags, you can glue two together, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to do a single one there. The next thing I want to do is put a sorry, it's called an eyelet in there. So just show you how I'm going to do this one. I'll choose silver because the brads are silver. And I've just got one of these cheap little eyelet, sorry, not that one, cheap little eyelet putter-inners. I'm not sure exactly what they're called. Okay, so I'll just put that in there. In the centre. My hands tend to shake when I do fiddly little things. Don't know if you're the same as me, but twist it. No, it didn't work, did it? Should have. Okay, perhaps I had it up the wrong way. Yeah, I think I did actually. So that goes in there like that. No, doesn't want to work for me today. All right, let's get another eyelet. See what's happening. Of course, nothing ever works when you are filming. one. Okay, so let's see, pretty sure I'm putting it in. I've always put it in this one, so I can't understand why it's not working. Let's do this again. Almost. Then we turn it over and we pinch it on the other side. And it should clamp together there. But you might have a, I think it's called a crocodile. You might have a crocodile to do this, which would probably work better, but there we go. So I've got that one in there. And I'm going to use this, do it this way. You might want to do that side. That's up to you. And then what I want to do is I want to hang these two little bits off there. Just make a sort of a hang tag with a little word and that little piece there. So I'm going to put eyelets in these two as well. Hang on, I want that on this side, so I've got to turn that the other way up. Okay. That one, and then another one in this one. I want that on that side. The one thing you've got to remember when you're using this one is that you've got it up the right way. Okay, so we have our little eyelets in. And if you have a little piece of chain, that's always nice. You could attach them with a little piece of chain. I'm going to use my twine again. Actually, I have a thinner piece. No, this will do. I'm just going to cut a strip of that. I'm going to put it through. Put it through. You can put it through all three, like what I'm doing here at once. Or another way is you can put them separately. So you can wrap a string through one, then string it through there, and so forth. I think it's easier to do it this way. So just wrap it around like that. And, or you might like to tie a bow, whatever you like doing. And I'll trim that off. There, and then you have a little, this cute little hang tag with a little word on there as well. So that's how you can put together, that's one way you can put them together. Or you can have them as separate little tags. And so that just fits in there like that. and then you do your little tie around there. So then we have the other tags, which you can cut down and use, and the smaller ones. And we've got some more little word tags there, and another little circle tag. But as I say, this obviously is a little ephemera folder for you to put in whatever pieces of ephemera you have. Okay, so that's it for our first little Freebie Friday tutorial. I hope you enjoyed that, and please, if you make this little project, please post it in the Facebook group or wherever else you wish to post it, and because I'd love to have a look and see what you made. Okay, so thanks for watching. I'll see you next Friday. Bye bye.